There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be drawing a card-dealing goblin today, as well as doing the viewer suggestion. It is Friday. Welcome back. I had a whole jovial, like, hope your Friday's going well, so I'll say that again. It's just going to be one of those days. It's just going to be one of those days. If you have not suggested something and you would like to put it on the list, go ahead and suggest it in the chat now, and I will add it to the list, and we will get that going for you. We're going to start off today by trying to get the line art for this goblin figured out, and then we will we'll go from there. This is the second stage cleanup. Let's see how that goes. But I think I'm just going to be channeling Anton Ego and make this guy really, really tall and lanky. Donuts, welcome in. Goldtooth, welcome in. I didn't talk to OKSDM about this, so I'm a little worried about the cigar. I don't know if they have like a tobacco disclaimer on their book, but we'll have to ask. Otherwise, we'll change it. How we doing? I'm doing all right. Okay, threw a little bit of a fit this morning because jump rope went to work, and so dealing with that. But he finally fell asleep, so could be a Snickers bar instead. Yeah, it should be easy enough. It should be easy enough to change if it is a problem, but. I was gonna give him coat tails, but I don't know. I don't think dealers have coat tails. I think they have vests. I think they wear vests. I'm gonna give this guy like underbite. I think underbite's gonna be funnier. I mean, every casino is different. You can make the casino person look whatever you want, depending on the theme. Ah, fair enough. Brad, welcome in. Welcome in. Who says you can't invite a vest? Hey, with tails. Ooh, that's true. The tails are just part of the pants. Just attached to the butt. I'd like to keep things a little bit classy, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I was thinking pinstripes, but like, he's so long now. He's such a long boy. I don't know if pinstripes will work. Of course, I don't know if lines are going to work. We'll see. We'll see. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody's D&D games are going alright. I have to set up a big incursion for tomorrow because one of my players can fly, which means they could hop, skip, and jump a room. And if they do, I'm going to have that third room set up for them. So I didn't expect them to get through the first 1-2 room, you know. We'll see. We'll see if they jump the shark. King Die from Cuphead series. It's a little off. It's sort of like a 1-2-tailed design. Does he look like a car dealer? Is he gonna have massive, hella fine shoes? I originally had like goblin feet, but I'm like, I think it'll be funnier if he's got like really nice, like loafers, or really nice like leather shoes. Just humongous. Little bows. I don't think I've ever seen a goblin wearing loafers before, so. Something I've discovered that I've been doing lately is I've been making all of my goblins very tired. Casino-like, I mean. Ah. His head is a dice. Okay. Things to spend your money on, people. Oops. What just happened? My walk-on pen nib just fell out. Let me see if I can find it. I hope I didn't need it. Another reason not to let the child touch the walk-on pen. Is that because you're very tired? That could be. I could just be projecting. Oh, is my tip broken? Oh, weird. Huh. My Wacom pen tip is kind of like worn down. Interesting. Interesting. Is it affecting my pen at all? Not really. How's everyone doing? I'm doing alright. I'm doing okay. Should have suspenders? Suspenders are kind of fun. I need to look up... I think I just need to get a reference of a casino card dealer. That would probably be the smartest thing to do. Oh, bow tie. Bow tie sounds fun. Yeah, they all have bow ties. Except for the lady who's got massive cleavage. Oh, there's a lady with a tie. Alright. She's got a bow tie too. It's just the one lady. Made a goblin character last night. Still haven't figured out what his name would be. He's literally just a little guy with a snipper. Nice. Snipe Deadeye. I'm a fan of stupid name, like a name that no one would call anybody except like as an insult for their first name, like Chud or Snurd. Something that almost sounds offensive, right? And then pick a body part, and then a bodily function. So like Dodd face toot is really funny. Grumble barf. Grumble barf's a good one. Or instead of a body part, you can pick like an item. Chet Axeweevil. That's pretty funny. It's like name, so I guess noun. Could just be a noun. And then noun verb. That's how you make goblin names. Maybe take a noun and like cut it in half. Or this could be even better. This could be an onomatopoeia. So like splat or doink or burf. Biff. Biff's funny too. I should make that in the next short I make, is how to name goblins. I'm gonna make a kobold choose some nonsense word, things they love to do. Yeah, things they love to do is good, like places where they're born. I like those. A little story about a mushroom knight who started on an island with his men, but I don't know what to call him. Laven or Tavel? How about Tavern? Tavern's a pretty good name for a mushroom. Or like trees, because like most mushrooms grow on trees. Bri, thank you for the membership. On that note, YouTube is trying to promote the membership program, so they've asked me to start posting more membership-only content. So I will probably be posting a whole bunch of members-only tokens and stuff. Tokens and things for the next couple months. Just see how that looks. Yeah, Tavern works great. Tavernwood. Tavern was a pretty good mushroom name. But yeah. Oak is another good one for mushrooms because they grow off of oak trees. I mean, like, that's the thing. Just like, and then like bark could be a really common name, or mulch. Mulch is funny. Me and my 600 brothers were all named Mulch. And then there's, of course, our cousin Sofa, who grew up in a sofa. Okay. So, obviously, we need a bow tie. 100% we need a bow tie. Should we make it a comically large bow tie? Or a tiny bow tie? Bow tie? A bow tie pasta? Do you have bow tie pasta here? Goblin naming adventure is a good one. I'm going to take a picture of that so I don't forget about it. Woo-woo! Thank you, Goldtooth. Oops. Again, my story ends with a dark note, like a mushroom knight committed cannibalism for his own men to survive. Ooh. Oak spore muncher. That's a little comedic, but why do they call you the spore muncher? Thank you, Goldtooth. I appreciate that. And Bri, thank you as well. How are you doing today, by the way, Bri? Hope you're doing well. Ooh, what's a good mushroom dish? That should be the question. That's what I would do. Shots are fired, but all miss. Yeah, sorry, Red. Truffles is always a funny mushroom name. We just had a bunch of Goldtooth gave some gift subs, and somehow you got skipped, so I apologize for that. No, you didn't do anything. No. The YouTube algorithm just overlooked you. My grandfather used to play a lot of poker, and he had one of these green hats. Green dealer hats. A visor, if you will. Uh-oh. Photoshop just froze. Hello? Hello, Photoshop? Thank you. There we go. Okay. Inferno, welcome in. You are on the internet. Wow, wow, wow. Where? You know what? I'm now looking at it. You're not on the internet today, apparently. I don't know what. Something happened with OBS, and now everything is kerfuffled. So. Mm-hmm. Music is really loud today, too. What's going on here? You are really quiet today. I'm going to turn Inferno. Oh, you're all the way up on my Discord. All right. Let me see if I can figure out why Discord isn't. Discord audio. Ah, it would help if it wasn't turned off. Probably. There we go. Alright, Inferno
Hello, the internet.
Yeah. I don't know. I get quite tired with dark backstories. I mean, there's always made 500 characters and their parents died and kind of stopped caring. Stories like in anthologies with characters die, they die. That's cool. Yeah, there's some fun stuff about, like, the tragic backstory is a good call to action for adventurers. Like, we've talked about that before. If you have a really nice family life with, like, a huge farm and tons of money and stuff, why would you go adventuring? So it's like drama and bad things happening to you is a good reason to, you know, pick up and go. So yeah, I don't mind people having tragic backstories. Mind you, I also don't care about them very much. I'm very very sparse when it comes to, like, okay, so how does your backstory relate to the story that we're telling? If it's not, like, very important, then it's just flavor, and so it's not really doesn't really matter. Bri, welcome in again. Is everyone having a good day? Yeah,
having a good day. Most players treat it that way too.
Mm-hmm. It's totally understandable. They got all the way. Get your characters out of the door. Besides, well, your parents died because you're better stuck. Yeah, and I think your parents died is the lazy story, right? Because it's just like, one, you don't know how old you are most of the time. So unless every character starts off being like a young kid that just doesn't have a parents, like, they just don't, like, most adventurers, you don't know who any of their parents are anyways. Like, unless you read a story of their upbringing. So for the most part, you can just disregard the addition of their parents to their story, right? Because the alternative to that is like, oh, my dad's a king, or oh, my dad's a devil. It's like, yeah, it's just,
yeah.
I have more backstory apart from my makeup as memory. Yeah, which is fun. I think that's fine. So I don't think it matters. I'm a big fan of the like choosing the life of adventure, or like having a goal or a quest that is an overarching theme for you. I usually go with something like, I want to find an ancient artifact, or I want to perfect my martial art skills.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like your parentage doesn't really matter in that, because you're self-motivated to be out in the world. And sometimes you just get thrown into it. I used to, whenever I had people start playing, I would have them pick a profession, and I would give them basically like, okay, you're in this town because you're a baker and there's a festival going on, and you're just here to sell your wares. And then they get thrown into adventure, right? Like something happens and someone asks them like, you have to go save this person, or you have to do this. And at the end of it, they can choose to just go back to being a baker. Like, it's like, you guys want to continue on with the story, or do you want to go back to being a shopkeep? I was Halloween shopping the clearance stuff. Nice. So yeah, there's lots of options, but Dead Parents is, I think, the low-hanging fruit, right?
Yeah, it's a universally understood concept by writers and non-writers, right?
Because really all that's saying is either A, I'm here for vengeance, right? Something killed my family, I want vengeance. Or B, don't ask me about my past, they're all dead. And both of those are legitimate. Even create a wizard who is dying but is part of the training job. Or a guide for an adventure. Or was put on a training job. That could be fun. Another person speaking? Yeah, Inferno's in the Discord chat. Inferno is one of our OG Discord members. Helps set up the audio. Pseudo mod.
Right.
I don't have an icon for you, I'm sorry. Anytime that somebody uses the dead background, it's usually a kid that wants to go after a specific enemy and they would never go after. Yeah, I mean, that can be fun, right? Like, that's the Vex and Vax treatment, which is really good for like rangers, rogues, and barbarians, right? Like, you could do a wizard and be Harry Potter, but it's less interesting because it's like, oh, my parents died and I went to wizarding school. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Being a sorcerer can be fun though, but yeah. You start a quest as a rare artificer that you made up in your head, and then your group of powerful wizards and wait, what? And then have a group of powerful wizards and trick them into creating it for you. Wizard, catch it. You're out in the world just to make somebody make you friends. Oh lordy, he's crooked. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that lopsided goblin. I have to look at this on the other monitor because my eyeballs suck.
Sucks getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Can't play the games you want to. Oh, you end up spending a lot more time sleeping than you want to.
Reread it, you misread the words. Okay, let me try this again. Start a quest for a rare artifact that you made up in your head. Okay, so it's a fake artifact. And then have a group of powerful wizards. And trick them into creating it for you. Did I read that wrong, or did you write it wrong? Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's why you said spoilers. I understand. Okay.
I mean, there's a reason why MacGuffin is listed specifically in writing as a major driver of a story.
MacGuffins are fun. Especially when you don't have to explain them. Like, Pulp Fiction worked out just fine, and we never knew what the MacGuffin was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just wave your hand.
Yeah.
I know it's frustrating for a lot of people because they're like, oh, but
what was it?
This is just hand-wavy reasons. And I go, that's right. The story wouldn't exist if it wasn't that way.
Supposed to be sacrificed, but the church came up, killed him, and I adopted him. That's Cult of the Lamb. Technically, yeah, because that is Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
You are the last of your kind, tiny lamb. The prophecy says that you must die. Technically, it's also the story of Willow. If you look at Alora Dannon being captured by a cult.
Willow, you idiot. Yeah.
I totally read that as he's got a piece of God string sitting inside of him. And I'm like, God string? That sounds awesome.
I want to say that was actually a part of another story, or at least a few. It seems familiar.
Yeah.
The term.
Cough, cough, Willow. Yeah. Prepare the liches. No story is wholly unique.
Yeah, and that frustrates a lot of people.
Da-da-da. I've been reading the Wheel of, not Wheel of Time. Discworld. Discworld's
gone
super
back
funny.
to the Discworld. I enjoy all of. I've read 3 Discworld novels, and I've enjoyed 2 of them. The third one, I was like, I'm missing something fundamental.
I kind of felt that way about the Hitchhiker's Guidebooks too. It's like the first 2 or 3 are really funny, and then the 4th one is just kind of like, I've lost the plot. Like, I as a person have lost the plot. I don't understand what's going on anymore.
Yeah. But I still, as a concept, I prefer the Ringworld novels in the universe more than Discworld. But
are they in the same universe?
No, they're different. And they're also separated by I want to say at least 10, maybe 15 years in publishing.
Okay, I thought the Ringworld books were kind of the unofficial Halo.
That's kind of where Halo aped a lot of its background.
Okay.
Because the concept in if you want to think about it and distill it down as much as possible is you have the idea of a Dyson sphere, which is,
surrounds the sun, captures the energy.
An artificial construct,
Yeah.
right? But it also made the assumption that there was an ancient phenomenon, probably some type of a race that had technology of a level to start a Dyson sphere, but never completed
Oh, interesting.
the Dyson sphere
Okay.
in a system that had no planet.
I really dig
reason-
The Expanse.
Yeah.
The Expanse did an interesting way of an interesting take on that, because like concept of the Expanse is that like alien race sends out stuff to colonize the universe, does so, and then disappears, and somehow humanity just skirted by, and now we're finding these things. Which is fun. I like it a lot. I don't want to spoil too much, but like it's an interesting take on that kind of mentality, and I liked it. Sweet Shadow from Sonic. Oh no. Shadow the Kobold.
It all really depends on how you want to distill a lot of these stories, right? Because you have wildly different interpretations of a story that could be distilled to the same concept, such as person A is sold into slavery and falls in love with their new owner. That is hyper distilled, and it could be the person was sold by another person into slavery.
It's Beauty and the
Or it
Beast.
could be they did not value themselves, so they looked for a way to remove themselves, but they couldn't kill themselves for whatever reason.
I don't know
So
what
they
we're
sold
talking about
themselves
now.
into slavery. Well, I mean that one would be what is it? It's Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. I've lost it.
What? That's fine.
I thought we were talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Is Sonic the Hedgehog one?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
There's so much Sonic the Hedgehog out there. Honestly, it scares me, a lot of it.
Yeah. This is the problem with suits. Like, his legs are done. Like, they're just slacks. How do you make slacks fancy?
Well, you could change the pants style of the slacks.
But then he won't look like he's wearing a suit.
I mean, it depends on... like a Frenchman, a traditional Frenchman suit is much wider at the top, and it's form-fitting near the bottom, and then it poops out.
Now he looks like a Nazi. That's not great. This video is gonna like immediately be demonetized. Why are you drawing fascist goblins?
I mean,
Fascists got their outfits, man.
they may not have been good people, but some of them dressed pretty well.
I almost want this leg to be thinner. Fascists have their outfits, but I don't care about outfits. I only love the music. And the communists got the music. That's how we do it.
I mean, at least they're up front with their mentality.
I think that's a They Might Be Giants song that I'm singing. Would it be better if a goblin dealer didn't have pupils? Like, should he have the weird, just blank eyes? Or should we give him, like, piercing eyes? Really, really tiny pupils. Should he look stoned, or should he look, like, hyper-focused? That's the question. I thought the kid was choking. It's a cat. There's a cat just sneezing his brains out on the other side of the room. Okay, for the is the cat has got the music. This foot is a little bit too close. A little bit too close. Maybe just make him look like a stereotypical dealer. I mean, that's kind of what I'm trying to go for. So I don't want to like fiddle with it too much. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's the downside too. Having like a really specific reference of he's a card dealer in a casino. It's like, well, do we want to make it like a fantasy casino where they're playing something weird that people might not understand the. Like, oh, he's got to have a pig on his head for the pig game. Or do we make him look like a card dealer that people would understand and like look at? Them's the questions. And those are rhetorical questions. I don't need that.
Like, what kind of car are we talking? Are we talking soapbox car?
Yeah. Are the
That
cards
could be
different?
fun.
Like, are we playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, what's the... That looks wrong. That foot just doesn't look quite right. And
I'm just imagining in my head a carriage salesman at a dealership. Salesman slap on the carriage. This new model can fit so many princesses.
Listen, bub, I ain't got all day.
Time is money, friend.
You want the upgraded suspension or not? Because right now this thing's not going to be able to hold an ogre. I think this guy's pretty good. I think we're pretty solid on this guy. So I think we move over to the viewer suggestion, and I'll come back to this later. You think it's all right? Yeah. Uh-oh. Hum ba dum ba doom boom boop ba doop boom boo. Oh man, Windows whatever I'm using right now, it's driving me crazy. Every time I try to like drag a thing over, I'm like, I want you to full screen. It's like, oh, you want me to put it in the middle of 3 panels? It's like, no, I want it to be full screen, please. Please stop. We are doing the viewer suggestion today, so if you have not done your suggestion yet in the the weekly suggestion post, there we go, on YouTube, you're very welcome to put it in the chat today, and I'll add it to the list. And we'll roll some dice. We'll let the dice gods decide what we're drawing.
You can't control me, chat. You have no power over me.
The dice gods control all.
Okay, that is a fact.
I think a normal version is okay for the goblin. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm happy with that one. I don't really want to do like a fantasy dealer per se. Just too much inference for that. Vampire rugby. that. Go back to this. I haven't drawn rubbing with some floof in a while. He's got a penis on his head. It's a schmeenus. I want to draw like an avant-garde rugby. Nothing
like,
makes sense.
What era of avant-garde?
6th grade? No, that's not what I meant. 6-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Crayon rugby. Blurp. Okay. Okay. I think I'm ready now. I'm ready to do other people's art. Draw things for people now that I've drawn super derp crayon rugby. Here we go. Uh-oh. Did I lose the list? Where'd the list go? Might have accidentally erased it with the casino dealer. Yeah, I'll just reopen it. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I'm remembering some of my high school art class projects that we were enslaved into doing. Wow, I mean it's a hard term to use for it, but it definitely felt weird. Like you have to do this mural, but you can only use crayons.
Expand your mind. Yeah.
Like,
I remember hating that stuff, especially through college, because like one semester for my art class, they made us literally do all of our art projects by cutting things out of newspapers and like magazines.
Oh,
it was an
interesting.
entire semester of collage, and I hated it, and I hated the teacher, and I fought with her, and she tried to fail me. Partially because I was just being what's the word?
Being you.
Yeah, like I totally get it. I probably should have failed that class. But like the idea was to remove us from the things we were comfortable with and just focus on the concept of like what art is, and like trying to get us, because it would be like, hey, look at this artist and then make a collage that represents them using just pictures you find. That's what she wanted. It's just like, I don't want you to draw, I don't want you to paint, I just want you to like distill it into imagery. And like I use that, and like I've had a lot of bad teachers like that, like not that they're bad teachers, but just like bad experiences with teachers. And it took me 5-10 years to be like, one of my instructors, the whole class was pissed off about this, and he wanted us to do 3D environments, poetry, like find a poem, turn it into a 3D interactive environment, and like everybody hated it. But that's literally like, that's what most indie games are nowadays. Like, how can you take a very simple concept or a very simple thing and turn it into like a horror story?
Yeah, like
and it was good. It was a good challenge.
Like making Winnie the Pooh as a horror flick.
Mm-hmm.
Or Scooby-Doo Mysteries as a horror flick.
Yeah. At the time, like, that guy seemed so nutty. Like, just very eccentric man. No one understood why the university hired him. But I get it. I get it now. Okay, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's start. Let's start with the trench coat. We're gonna have three kobolds.
I definitely did not enjoy at the time the projects that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
but looking back on them, I go, oh, okay, that was actually a really good idea. It
Yeah.
forced you to do this and this and this. It was just never explained well,
Yep.
which is where I think the teacher really failed.
And I think a lot of struggles people have with teachers, especially like from high school and like early in college, is a lot of ego, like getting their own ego out of the way, um, which is kind of the point. And that's why you have really polarized uh, teaching environments. They're just like, this teacher hates me. It's like, no, I bet they don't actually hate you. I think they're just trying to push you in a way that makes you uncomfortable and you don't like, which is fair. Like,
Yeah.
not all people will get everything you need out of it, but there will be occasionally the people that do get something very profound out of those lessons. And that's okay. Like, you can absolutely what's the word I'm looking for? It's okay. It's okay to not get something profound out of every lesson. Sometimes teachers
Yeah.
just hate you. I had an English teacher that tried to get me kicked out of school like 6 times. So, whatever.
Well, and you will always have some of those instructors that just they want you to only do projects in a very specific
Mm.
style that they tell you to do it, even when you're ostensibly given a whole lot of freedoms.
Yeah, and that's really good for. There's 2 parts of school, right? Like, one, school helps you learn how to learn, which is great. Um, and then the other part of it is like learning how to interact with the world. And I think that part kind of gets dropped a lot, and people kind of ignore it. But like working in teams, people hate working in teams. It's like, you're gonna have to do that for the rest of your life. Like, you're gonna have to do assignments that aren't exactly what you want. You're gonna have to find new ways to do things that you're used to doing. And that's like, I think that's the importance of school, and um, and it's rough for some people, very very much so. So I don't begrudge people that struggle, because the struggle's real. You know? I've drawn Carmen San Diego, but as a kobold is what I've done.
Uh, I'm okay with this.
Did you see that patron come into the bar with the giant yazongos? I did. She also had a giant mustache and horns and 2 faces. So, methinks that might be a kobold. Mammals have boobs, right? One on the bottom, how strong is he? 2 in the middle, carrying 3. On the top, kobolds in a trench coat. That song has been stuck in my head for days.
I do find it funny that that concept is a core archetype that's been integrated into D&D now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a new archetype by any means. So I'm glad
No.
they finally, like, because part of the problem with it is like, how do you play that, right? Like, and it it had been a huge debate for so long, because it's like, which armor class do you use? What ability? Whose turn is it? What's happening? So I'm glad they finally like sat down and were like, yeah, all right, we'll play with it.
Yeah.
It's like, if you really want to do that, here's a rule set for it. It's like, thank you.
Yeah, and it helped establish a framework that people could do for, say,
Is
like
it just a blank
uh,
layer?
other small creatures like I don't know,
Uh-oh.
let's say 3 or 4
Thank you, Jonas.
brownies inside of a trench coat.
A coat full of pixies is really funny. That's another one we've talked about.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
The problem with the coat of pixies is that like there's no body, so it's
Right,
just
you
it's
would
just
need
like
a
it's got a
very
scarf.
big hat. Very big hat and a scarf.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, don't look at me. Yeah, sorry you guys didn't get to see like the ridiculous rugby draws. But here we are. Here we are working on kobolds.
Actually, you could probably pull off a face like the old 8-bit black mage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what. I don't remember if it was Druid or we talked a little bit about somebody. It might have been Bri. I'm not sure. But like essentially, that's what you would do. Like you would basically say like they have a scarf and all you see are their glowing eyeballs, and then that is it's just two pixies. It's two pixies floating around.
The glowing eyeballs shift in weird ways. Weird what? Like one goes up and the other one goes down, and one goes to the side and the other one goes diagonal. Weird.
Hello, fellow human mortal. How about that existence?
My fellow human adventurer.
I'm a big fan of like fae and kind of other ethereal creatures or non-ethereal creatures. How do you put that? Immortal things. Just like mortality being the only thing that they think like the only thing that humans can think about, or just like it's like, so what's it like about to die? I mean, we all, contemplating our existence is about to end. How strange. Or normal, I mean.
Yeah, right.
I don't remember that, but I do think lots of weird, yeah. We talk about lots of stuff, so. It was probably Druid. I think Druid and I had a conversation about that.
Pull out the notepad with a pen, start writing down. So, how was it to be resurrected that last time? Interesting.
I also like the idea of bumping into like a fey creature or other immortal being, whether it be like a god or something just like that's infinitely long lived, and the first time you meet them they're like, oh god, not you again. And it's just like, what? It's like every 500 years or so we do this. Why do you keep coming back? It's just like, hold on now. What's happening?
I feel that we've missed something here.
I think they did that in Adventure Time, essentially. Something similar. Not that exact thing, but like Finn the human is supposed to be this like embodiment of good in the universe. And so he keeps coming back and like stopping the evil thing. And they're just diametrically opposed, but Finn doesn't remember that, so it's like it's fun. I had a Hero Forge mini on the lock-picking goblin you made tokens for. I made a Hero Forge mini of the lock-picking goblin you made. Nice, that's cool. I'd like to see a picture of that. There's a character in BoJack Horseman, which I watched like the first 2 seasons of, and then just gave up on it. Who is just like too. I don't think they're toddlers. I think they're older than that. There's just like 2 kids in a trench coat that's dating one of the people on the show, and she's completely oblivious. Hello, other adults. I am here to do business. Beep boop beep beep boop boop beep boop boop.
Right?
That's cool. Hero Forge has come a long way. Yeah, that doesn't look so bad. The Hero Forge used to be real chunky, which I was not a fan of, but it made sense for like mass production and printing. Just not a fan of it. But that one's pretty good. Looking pretty good. The real question is, do I put horns sticking out of his butt?
This man is management material. How can you tell? He's got a beard on his forehead.
I gotta give him little ears. Kobold needs little dog ears. This is required. Are you a dog or a lizard? I don't know.
The answer is yes.
Some of our beards are amazing. Brian, did we talk to you about the dwarf beard being a parasite? I don't know if you were there for that conversation.
Oh, that would make sense.
Thor from Pirate Software was talking about this. That essentially all dwarves start as humans, and then when the beard parasite latches onto them, it starts sapping their energy, and that's why they get smaller. But that's also why dwarven women have beards, because the beard is the dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
Just happens to also be a parasite. For some reason, humans are just like the preferred host. Yeah, preferred host of the parasites.
I mean, at that point, would it actually... Well, I guess
It's also why dwarven children have beards.
you could classify it as a symbiote of some sort, but I mean, symbiotes are...
Yeah, I guess so, because like the
in
humans
the
live
parasite.
longer, right? So it wouldn't be...
Yeah.
They're technically gaining something from it. Plus, they can diggy hole, you know. So like that's even better.
That's true. True.
Okay.
That is a very important skill.
Doobie. Whoops. Where am I? A duplicate layer. If you've not seen the Kobolds in a Trench Coat music video, go give them some love, because it's really funny. You're trying to draw on a hidden layer. I am not. I think I was, but I'm going to pretend that I was not. Alright, I'm going to roll some dice. Here we go.
You must stop. But why? You're
Ooh,
drawing
yeah.
on the wrong layer.
No. There was like a good 20 minutes there where I was just not streaming anything and nobody said anything, so everybody left.
Yeah, the struggles.
Oh my god. I have 3 suggestions left. I tried to roll on a d4, and I rolled 3 4s in a row. Come on now. Biggest, meanest, burly crocodile barbarian dude. Black scales with a scar of a skull. Oh, scar. With a skull face paint. Markings on his face. Okay. Okay. Simba. Oh, it's Dwarf Fortress lore. That's funny. That must be where Thor got it. I'm really thinking about experimenting with Blender and making STLs. The cool thing about Blender, besides the fact that it sucks awful, is that it's free and it's pretty robust. So, like, you can absolutely do that. I would suggest watching a basic UI tutorial for the current version of Blender you are using, because there's a lot of hidden menus that are basically required to function properly. So you're going to need to know like what the Alt key, what the Control key, what the Shift key does contextually. And if you don't know what that means, go watch a video on it. It'll all make sense. So you need to learn the contextual menus for Blender to not drive you crazy. After that, Blender's great. Like if you can get around its UI, it's a very powerful, robust, free program, and it's awesome for that. So I highly suggest that. After that, like, there's no reason not to. Yeah, give it a try. Have fun with it. You can sculpt in it. You can build in it.
Different UI loadouts that are available. Or
yeah, I've tried to find a few of them that are like. Back in the day, what you could do is you could download a UI template so that it would convert it into like 3ds Max, and I used that for a while because my brain is built. It hurts my soul to use. Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. My brain is built for 3ds Max because that was industry standard, and that's what I used for 10 years. And trying to switch to Blender just frustrates you to no end because I want to do things like, oh, I just want to ring this selection, and like that's a whole. It's why is it hidden in a context menu? It should be one button click from while you're using the layer palette. They use 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of the QWERTY keys, which is not terrible, but like the QWERTY keys are something totally different. Why? Like, why go against industry standard? I don't understand it. So, very frustrating. I couldn't find one for the newest release, but the newest release just came out when I was trying to do it. So I'd have to go back through and try to find that again too. So they exist. You can do it. But
yeah, and there's actually now a plugin that you can use for Blender to actually do not just sculpted 3D models. You can actually do engineered 3D models.
I thought that was native in Blender. Is it not?
So the easiest way to think about it is the difference between ZBrush and a CAD software.
Right. Yeah. So you're talking about the difference between 3D modeling and sculpting, right? And I think Blender has both.
Correct.
I think Blender does have both natively now.
Yes. There is a plugin that will allow you to be able to do it easier, though.
Okay.
Which is cool. But I still do not enjoy modeling inside of Blender if I can avoid it. But that's my brain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I learned using I learned ZBrush, I learned 3ds Max, I learned Mudbox. I even learned a little bit of Maya, but 3ds Max just was more accessible to me. So I did those for a long time. I focused mainly on asset and texture development for Unity. So I built a lot of like boxes, and then I would paint the texture to make it look like a crate versus sculpting a box and then like burning it out.
Right.
Because I needed really low poly stuff for the National Science Foundation, because they're like, we want to give this to everybody. And it's like, okay, here we go. Thor was talking about how they have iterated a bunch on it and how it's gotten a lot better over time. Yeah, that's been the selling point for Blender since it came out. Is that like, hey, you guys built this, why does this suck? Well, it's getting better. It's like, why?
Yeah,
why did you do it this way? Why did you do it this way? We used to make the joke that Blender is 3D modeling software for coders, because the way the UI is set up doesn't make sense to normal people's brains.
Yeah, although.
But all my coder friends are just like in love with Blender because they can do it. It's just like, yep, I don't know why.
Yeah.
We nested all these things in a code function. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Nobody knows how that works.
Wow. Yeah, it's because their brains just work that way.
Yeah. Whereas,
Which
for a long time, ZBrush was the opposite.
Yeah.
ZBrush was built for sculptors, and so everything is laid out in the way that it would be laid out in like a sculptor or a pottery room. And so when you're trying to like deal with vertice editing, nothing makes sense. And ZBrush was a shit show for a very long time until 3ds Max bought it and then put the 3ds Max UI into it. It was like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. So it's just learning. It's just learning the UI. That's all it is. Other than that, it's great. You can even animate. I made an animated video in it, a 2D animated video. Blender just takes so much and crams it into one program that their UI is super messy. Like, that's really the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But it's robust. It's got tons and tons of functionality. So I don't know what I'm doing here. I've made like some kind of weird frog demon. I think we're gonna start over. And as things go, like, yeah, like Blender 2 was awful, and I think they're in Blender 4 now. Like, or maybe it was 1.4 was the thing that maybe pissed me off. It doesn't matter. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, and I basically cursed it. I was like, I'll never ever use this program. And then after I got out of the university and I lost my Adobe license or my Autodesk license, it was like, well, now I have to either shill out the thousands of dollars a year to use 3ds Max or use Blender. And now I don't do 3D modeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened. I just don't do it.
Yeah, I think that UI patents definitely should go the way of the dodo. I'm glad that most of them are not getting extended, but we're still suffering from a lot of the after effects of the early 90s patent wars on UI design.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like, the worst part of it is like the adoption of the subscription model.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like back in the day, the first iteration of 3ds Max was $400 and you got it forever. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hell yeah. And we did that. I just bought it. My friend and I, we saved up a bunch of money one summer and we bought it. We bought a license of it. And then when I started going to college, I'm like, I love 3ds Max. 3ds Max is great. It cost $1,600 a semester to use it. And they're like, we're just going to put that into your tuition fees. And I'm like, why can't we just buy it? They're like, because it's $1,200 or $12,000 to buy a suite for it. And it's like, that sucks. And so now it's kind of the same thing. I think it's like $600 or $700 a year to license it per computer. It might be more than that. It might be $1,200, $2,400 last time I checked. I'll have to look, because I might have been getting the student discount. But yeah, I mean, Autodesk subscription. Let's look. And the reason they can do that is because they're for a long time they were just selling to like architecture firms, right? And so these are highly industrialized companies that are making millions of dollars a year. You can just say, hey, it's going to cost to have an architect, you need to give them their $100,000 salary and also $20,000 for software licensing. And they would do it. They would pay it. And now you have so many like small indie companies that want to use it that there's this huge fight for something like Blender to come up that's free. And that's why there's a lot of now free AutoCAD stuff and like 3D modeling for 3D printing. Like there was an industry that wanted a cheaper version, and now it exists. That's great. It's great. What did I do? Did I close Aggie? I hope I didn't. Where did Aggie go? Oh no! Oh no! There it is. Sorry, I went and got a reference of a crocodile, an alligator. Those are two different things, but I got an alligator.
Yep.
Sorry, that was my 3D modeling rant. Because it used to be something I cared about a lot. Not so much anymore. Got the fun sapped out of it. Which is what, like, we're working on a game right now. Delco and I are. And we're both constantly pushing the, God, do we want to do this in 3D? Because it's like, even if you do a 2D game, using 3D objects and then creating like sprite maps for them can sometimes be a better option. Things like Dead Cells and what was the other one? There was another one that did the same thing. They're like very iconic 2D games, but are using 3D models because it works. It works really well.
Yeah. Shoot, what was that?
There we go.
Legacy used a lot of 3D models that everybody thought for the longest time was 2D.
I mean, it technically still is, right? Like that's the trick, is like your output is not always your input. And there's a whole bunch of really funny indie games, especially like indie horror. Indie horror right now is full of, what are they, downgrades? Is that what they're called? And they're like, oh, this is PlayStation 1 graphics. It's like, it's technically just a 3D modeled game that you're downscaling. So like, you could make this look better. But they're choosing a style, right? And that's the point. So like, if you want it to be 2D, it doesn't mean you have to use all 2D assets. It's just, what do you want it to look like when it comes out? And that's really cool.
Yeah, nowadays, a lot of the work really isn't in the polygon of the model.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that does form a factor into it, but it's much more the texture.
Yeah. Arcane is a really good example of that. Like, Arcane is, I think, fully 3D, but has a very painterly style to it because they go over post-process everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of really cool things going on with rendering and 3D modeling, and I think really is only possible because of so many people kind of wanting to get into it and playing with it, which I think is smart. Like, that's why you need... Autodesk should be giving itself away free to students because they want people to use it. And they just don't. They did for a while, and then they stopped. So you want to get people to use your software, let them fuck with it, just like nonstop. Okay, this guy's got to be super beef. I don't remember what this guy... Oh, he's supposed to have skull paint on his face. Shoot. Okay. Skull paint and something else. Let's do this. Let's have some fun real quick. Would he have a human skull? Or would he have an alligator skull painted on his face? Because an alligator skull just looks like the alligator. right? That's a conundrum right there. Time is it 12 o'clock? That's not too bad. I assume that the child will wake up here soon and demand snackies. Which is his right.
Mm-hmm.
As a tiny man. Maybe not. I realize now that people can't see the nose. I don't know what Aggie and Discord are doing, but they're doing some weird stuff. Yeah, weird. Just cut off like 6 inches of my page. I didn't do nothing. Whoop. Cat, you're freaking me out. I keep thinking the boy's waking up. It's just a cat. I was playing Mario 1000 Year Door yesterday. And like I whoop up on Bowser and then they just stop talking about him. And it's like, did I kill him? Like kind of assumed if I beat him he'd join my party, but instead he just vanished. And I don't know what's going on. Get some big old alligator pecs in here, that would probably call it. Alright, that's a pretty good alligator. I think I'm happy with that. Let's go on to the next one. Oh. Yep, there's the boy. Okay. Hang tight. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back.
Welcome back.
Kid had milk, kid has Cheerios. Skip cat might need fed here in a minute. Lizards! Look at all them lizards. A well-loved teddy bear wearing a wizard hat. That's what we're drawing next. Sounds like a plan. Do you have to mess with the goblin ears, or is that just what the goblin ears look like on... Kid, what happened to your Cheerios? Where... Are you sitting on them? Where'd they go? Where's the cup? Okay. Great. What am I doing? Oh, teddy bear. Had to change them to larger, more triangular ears. Gotcha. Yeah. Wait, did this say wizard hat? It did say wizard hat. Wizard hat is... Well, wizard hat can be a wizard hat. Alright, we'll be fine. There's like the wizard cap. They're like Mickey Mouse wears. But I guess that would also be a wizard hat. I don't know. I'm gonna do the traveling Gandalf.
To the Mickey Mouse idea with the wizard hat. Who's the actual wizard?
Alright, kiddo. Yeah. Come here. Yeah, you can sit with me. You just have to put all the dice away so you don't eat them.
True, guys. True dice goblin.
Come here, sad boy. Why are you so sad? Why are you so sad? Look at all them toys. Look at all them toys. Okay. How do I turn off? Every time I click on like the window thing, it's like, how do you want to organize your thousands of things on one screen? It's like, I don't. That's why I have multiple screens. Please stop. If anybody knows how to turn off that function, let me know. Kid, I can't draw with your hand there. Bless you. Yeah, those are tiny ears. You want a chew toy? What do you think about this? Nope, not the pen. Can't have the pen. We learned earlier that it will fall apart and choke you to death. Those ears are huge. Let's put them up here. Let's have the ears poke through the hat. I think that's funny. Not how anything works, but I don't care. I don't care. Kid, that was not the chew toy, that was my hand. Please don't do that. Yeah. Be right back. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Do. Should the hat be well loved too? Or is the hat a recent addition to the poppet? Actually, being a wizard is weird. Like, I could see a poppet being a sorcerer. But I guess if the poppet woke up with inherent magical knowledge of how to cast spells, it'd technically be a wizard. The whole sorcerer conundrum is wreaking havoc. If you're born with the innate knowledge of how to use a spell book, are you a wizard or a sorcerer?
The answer is yes.
I hate it. This arm's too long. It's creepy. Who you waving at, kid? Should draw more witches hats this year. Maybe next year that's what we'll do. We'll just draw witches hats on everything. $5 super chat? Put a witch hat on it. That could actually be a pretty fun thing. We just create like a list. Like a menu item of random shit. And then just let chat add things to the pictures.
I'm gonna put a hat on a hat.
Correct. Yeah, Elliot. I think it's the only one left. So we'll probably try to... Whoa! What happened? He's just standing by the door and screaming. Hold on a second. I think the neighbor walked by, and the neighbor didn't stop and pick him up, so he got mad. Come back! Don't leave me here. They're only feeding me Cheerios. Is that good? Yeah, you like Cheerios. More? I'm gonna hold the cup though, because you just throw the cup. And then nobody gets Cheerios. $2 gear roll. And that might be too fine tuned. I was thinking like add horns, add hat. $20 add booba.
You're gonna get some real strange requests like putting booba on a hat or something.
Well, that's why we don't let people say draw hat.
Probably for the best.
Yep. Mimics all the way down. We don't do that no more. Trying to get it. You can get it. Here you go. Here. That's it. Nope. One more. Okay. Do, 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 do. So I only have a handful of commissions left. In my cycle here. Gotta draw one more goblin, which we're working on now. And then we got I wrote it down as Bob Ross Goblin, but when I looked at it, it was like a really tall elf. So I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. That one's gonna be fun to draw, but like I think it's supposed to be an elf. And then we have 2 dragons that I gotta draw. So after that, we're going to start taking commissions again. I have 2 little, like, doggos to draw, which I don't think will take me too long. I could be totally wrong, though. And they could take me forever. So I'm going to start doing commissions again. I need to come up with my commission sheet to put up on Blue Sky. Which I have an account for, and people can go join that now if they like. But, like, I can't log into it on my phone, so I'm going to have to figure that out. I don't know what happened. I might have accidentally made 2 accounts. We'll see. But I put a link to that in the general chat. People can go check that out. We're going to make him on fire. We're going to make him on fire. The D&D party for the game I'm running right now, which will be the precursor to the Patreon game, befriended a goblin, of which I did not have stats or stuff for. So I made a goblin exalted just because I wanted to try out the class, and I think he might kill the party. If they're not careful, he might murder everybody. But I now have a god infused goblin rogue running around with them, which is really funny to me. Pathfinder's great. Pathfinder lets you do lots of weird stuff. Needs a wand. What's up, kid? Yeah? You stuffed too many Cheerios in your mouth? One at a time, kid. Oop, you lost it. Here you go. Get them back. Not the pen. No. Cheerio. Don't want Cheerios. Want the pen. A godlin.
I want both. Give me both. Oh, speaking of which, though, I have to start making some chicken. Either that or I'm going to be super hungry and not have food ready.
Yeah.
Which will be problematic.
Should probably get that going. I'm trying to eat a little healthier, so I'm trying to really like plan my meals out. But I also have a giant bag of hot dogs in my fridge.
You could make some pretty healthy stuff with hot dogs, though.
Yeah, I buy the good hot dogs too. So like, it's just beef. It's essentially just beef.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, you can slice them up and then put them inside like a soup. for example.
I got beans. I should do pork and beans tonight. That would be awesome.
Ooh,
Pork and
that'd
beans.
be really good. Throw a little bit of molasses in there.
I kind of want to give him a mustache. Should we give him a mustache?
Give him a Cheerio mustache.
No, I don't like it. I think we're gonna call that one good. Alright. Dwarven White Death Knight. Here we go. Yeah, kid? What's up? We won't play with that. How about you play with these instead? Look at all these toys that are not the keyboard. What do you think about them? You like any of them? You got a pumpkin? You got some blocks? Go.
All right. Well, you have a good rest of the day.
Sounds good. Thanks for hanging out.
Food.
We'll catch you later.
No problem. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. No keyboard. Do. Do dwarven helmets cover up the beard or not? That's the question. The beard is symbolic. Yeah. But if you're a death knight, does that mean they'd shave the beard? Kid. Yeah. You can play with all these things, but you just can't play with the keyboard, kid. No. Do you need your own keyboard? You can have your own keyboard. Look at that keyboard. Okay. That's not the right keyboard. Where I was going with my story before I got distracted, commissions will be open next month, I think. We gotta make a butt ton of money. Let's do it. I have a question that may seem illegal, but I don't think is. And that's part of my question. Is it possible to buy your own student loans from the company at a cheaper price and then forgive your own student loans? And or buy them from the company that's hosting them for a small fee and then sell it to a small fee? How does that work? How do companies keep buying and selling my student loans? Why not me? That's the question. Why not me? Or do they buy it at face value and then collect interest? Hit me. What's the new idea? Wild Mage Press is commissioning artists for their Horizon game. Horizon magazine. I think I already looked at their stuff. Might have to start branching into doing what's the word? Backgrounds and stuff. People seem to like that, but it costs more money. No, buying your own debt. So much money. Yeah. I went to ITT Tech, and so the government's been trying to figure out how much they fucked me for the last, like, 4 years. And now I don't know what's going to happen with my student loans, so next year's going to be very strange. Yeah, if you're a Death Knight with like Plague or Pestilence, would you want the beard full of gnats? Time for the boy to use dark magic and curse your jetters. I mean, if he's got the dark magic, we got to use it for something, right? Otherwise, it just builds up. I can't imagine it coming out in clumps during a fight. The beard or the or the bugs? Because that could be like a fun way to have the Swarm Keeper archetype. Just filthy beard. Swarm Keeper of the filthy beard. Oh, you find the kitty cat? Does the kitty cat want you to pet him? He's gonna bite you. Gentle. If he bites you, it's your fault, kid. You gotta be gentle. Pixel is just staring daggers at the boy. The boy's like, I want to touch him. It's like, don't do it. Nope. Stop. Good job, Pixel. I don't think he wants you to touch him. Yeah, not right now. He's sleeping. Leave him alone. You gonna get whacked. Pixel's real good. Yeah. Well, maybe I don't want shoulder pads. I like shoulder pads on paladins, but something's not feeling right about this guy. There we go. That's better. I think my proportion was just kind of off. Hey, kid. Leave him alone. I might have to intervene here. Hold on. Okay. That was a pretty hard fall, kid. Right? You okay? Did you knock your noodle? Invest in pool noodles. You alright? Okay. Pumpkin. Play with the pumpkin. You see the pumpkin? I think we need skulls. I think he's got to have skulls on his... Okay. We're probably going to have to call it here soon. This kid is... No. Do not play with the keyboard. What am I going to have to put in front of you so you don't play with the keyboard? Cheerios? This ball? Oop. Sure, we'll start with that. A bee. Ep, ep, ep. Oh, kid, you're so full of beans today. What's going on? What are you doing? You want this? You want this or this? Ugh. But Papa, I just want the two things that I'm not allowed to touch. The keyboard and the pen. Nope. Nothing else matters. I really like the dark paladin concept for dwarves. But I don't want to just copy World of Warcraft for the Death Knight, right? I want to think of something interesting. I want to make them a little too bulky. They're dwarves already, so they can carry whatever they want. Now that they're undead, they just don't care. Just carrying around their own tombstone or something. All right. No. No, kid. You gonna spin? You just gonna spin until I put you on the floor, and then you're gonna scream because I put you on the floor? How do you feel about that? And then here's this. Is that acceptable? I suppose. Hey, blah 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 blah. I don't know what this looks like, but it doesn't look right. Let's get rid of that. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I'm gonna make this smaller. So I have a little more room. You alright? This kid is just full of beans right now. I think we're probably gonna have to call it. I'm gonna give him another minute or two to see if he'll figure it out, but otherwise, it's 1 o'clock. We did alright today. We got all the viewer suggestions done, so that's good. Oh, that's my drink. You cannot be unsupervised today, apparently. I mean, I say unsupervised. He's never more than 5 feet from me, but... he's requiring additional attention. Okay. Go, go, go. You see the big garbage truck? That's pretty cool. So has he tamed the cats yet? Turning them into his army? He's getting close. He's getting close. Pixel is really good about letting him kind of just get fucked with. Skip Cat, on the other hand, is not. Skip Cat will come and hang out with him when the kid's like trying to sleep, but as soon as he's like up and awake, Skip Cat's just like, nope, not dealing with this. So Skip Cat watches over, and Pixel just gets manhandled and stuff. We were really worried about it because Pixel will like bite us if we mess with him too much. It's usually pretty tame. Like he's just like, hey, stop, and it's fine. Like he's never terrible. But we were just like, any bite on a kid is not good, so we were a little worried about that. But Pixel's been very good about when the kiddo starts being too rough or like grabbing his tail and stuff, he'll meow at him first, and then he'll like put his paw on him and just push him away. Just be like, get out of here. So he got popped once, like no claws, just whacked in the face, and that scared me, but it worked. The kid was like, oh, don't do that, got it. And I was like, that was surprisingly tame for the cat. Like to just meow, whack. So I think they understand that he's a dumb baby, and he'll figure it out. Okay. The child is now underneath my desk, which is not a safe place, so I'm gonna go ahead and... Hey! Come here. We gotta put the kibosh on this. No. Okay, come here. Come here. Oh my goodness, you're gonna smack your head. You're gonna smack your head if you're under there. Look, Cheerios. Nope, that's a piece of a camera equipment. No. Look, you can hold it, but you can't put it in your mouth. It immediately goes in the mouth. No. You want to look at it? Nope. Can't put it in your mouth. You can look at it. You can't put it in your mouth. I understand your want to do so. Nope. Doesn't go in the mouth. Nope. Well, this is a fun game we're playing now. Sorry, StarCraft on the mind? Yeah. You require more Vespian gas. Why draw armor when you can just draw mostly beard? Yeah, I think I'm spinning my wheels here. Okay, kid. Yep, we're done. We're done. I can't just keep fighting him for the keyboard. So we're gonna call it today. Hey, baby. Thanks for hanging out there, everybody. Thanks for your suggestions. I'll post those on the Discord a little bit later, so people can use those for their games and stuff. We'll be back next week. It should be normal, I believe, normal stuff. Thanksgiving's 2 weeks out, right? More commissions, more fun stuff. Yeah, and then the week of Thanksgiving, I believe we won't have any streams. We'll try to do some extra shorts content or some other fun stuff there, but otherwise, we'll be back after that, and we'll be starting new other commissions. So that'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll be on Twitch a little more. I'd like to start doing some streams on Twitch, but it's just been so hectic that I haven't really got time to do it. So we're going to try to figure that out. If you're not a member, check out the membership stuff. There's going to be lots of free tokens. If you're a Patreon member, those tokens will also be on the Discord, as well as I'll just be posting them to the Patreon page. If you haven't checked out the Discord, check out the Discord. And aside from that, stay happy, stay healthy, keep your eyes on the table. We'll catch everybody later. Bye, everyone.